So, I need to get something off my chest today. It's been weighing on me, honestly, and I bet it'll hit you too. Whether you're a mom, you've lost a parent, or you're just a regular person with a beating heart. I want to talk about grief. Not the poetic, filtered version, but the real thing. The kind that doesn't just live in your mind, but shows up all over your body, and about what happens when the internet sees it, picks it apart, and makes entertainment out of someone's pain. Oh, and there's Sharon Osbourne, this fierce mama bear, turning up at a glitzy Oscars party in sequins, refusing to keep quiet. More power to her. Let's back up, because understanding who we're talking about and what they've been through matters more than anything. Ozzy Osbourne, rock legend, Prince of Darkness, the kind of musician who changed the whole game, died on July 22, 2025. He was 76. For years, he battled Parkinson's, went through a pile of surgeries and setbacks that would have broken most people, but Ozzy, he kept fighting until his heart finally gave out. And suddenly, the people who loved him, who built their lives around him, had to figure out how to keep going without him there. For his daughter Kelly Osbourne, losing her dad has almost been like losing gravity. Everyone could see it. Anyone paying attention could pick up on just how hard things were for her. Grief like that isn't just emotional, it's physical. It drains you, messes with your appetite, steals your sleep, occasionally makes basic things like eating feel impossible because you're already carrying this invisible boulder around. So when Kelly showed up at the Brit Awards in February, accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award for Ozzy, already, just the words, "posthumous award for your dad," are kind of gut-wrenching. She looked noticeably thinner. It didn't take long for the comments to start. Not gentle concern, not a moment's pause to remember what she's been through, but speculation. People started tossing out theories about her weight, Ozempic, illness, anything but empathy. There were messages so cruel, they barely deserve repeating. Strangers who don't know her at all apparently decided her body was fair game for public debate. Let's pause on that. Women especially know how it feels to have their bodies scrutinized when they're hurting. Maybe not on a red carpet, but it's the same violation. You're vulnerable, and instead of compassion, you get commentary. It's isolating, humiliating, and just plain cruel. Kelly called it what it was, dehumanizing. And she's right. It reduces someone's real grief to gossip, turns their darkest moment into content for strangers to dissect. But here's why Kelly deserves real respect. She refused to just take it. She went online and spoke up, sharing exactly how broken she felt and how out of line the criticism was. She said what needed to be said, louder, honestly. There's no strength in attacking someone who's at their lowest. If anything, it shows a lack of compassion and character. And she made it clear she wasn't letting herself be treated as less than human while struggling through the loss of her father. A week or two earlier, in a video she later deleted, Kelly looked right at the camera and said her dad had just died. She was doing her best. All she was living for in that moment was her family. Hear that, not as a drama, but as something raw and real. That's life when you're surviving grief, dragging yourself out of bed each day, doing your best to carry on, and getting mocked for how that pain shows up on your body. That's what grief looks like outside of the highlight reel. It's messy, it's exhausting, and it's visible to anyone who's really paying attention. When a fan messaged Kelly last month, grieving their own parent, she didn't sugarcoat things. She said that part of her died with Ozzy. She admitted she couldn't promise the pain would fade. She was still struggling herself. But she said she was reaching for whatever help she could find, pushing herself to claw back some sense of normalcy. That's the kind of raw honesty you don't see every day. Someone deep in their own grief, still reaching out to someone else in theirs. There's something special about that. It says a lot about who Kelly Osbourne really is. Then, Oscars weekend hit. There was the Elton John AIDS Foundation viewing party in LA. Sharon Osbourne, 73, shining in a sequined dress, was asked by a reporter if she was proud of Kelly for standing up to her bullies. Now, Sharon has spent a lifetime in front of cameras. She always has the right words ready, but this time she kept it simple and sharp. People who give it out have to get it back. Then she nodded and walked away. That was her entire answer. Nothing else needed saying. Sometimes, less really is more. Sharon stood up for her daughter before, On Piers Morgan's show, she boiled Kelly's situation way down. She's lost her daddy. She can't eat right now. 7 words. And those 7 words did something none of the endless internet chatter managed. Sharon gave context. She made it obvious, so obvious you wonder how people missed it. Anyone who's lost a loved one knows this feeling without being told. Grief turns your whole world upside down. It's not a trend or something you can manifest your way out of. It's not a matter of willpower or smoothies or pep talks. When you lose the person who grounds you, your body and mind go into shock. Eating, sleeping, even the most basic things feel impossible sometimes. Not dramatic. Impossible. And it shows. The fact that people saw Kelly Osbourne honoring her dad and instead chose to mock her, to nitpick her appearance, turn her pain into a punchline, says nothing about Kelly. It's a sad reflection of how far social media has dragged us from basic kindness. How quick we are to forget there's a real person behind the screen, stumbling through something almost everyone dreads. Here's the part that sticks with me most. Kelly's been upfront that she's fighting her way back. She's doing the hard work. She wrote once that just getting out of bed, facing her life, should be more than enough. And she's right. It takes serious guts to stand up when grief is weighing you down. Just showing up to an event, trying to honor your father, when your heart's still shattered, that's real bravery. That should be recognized as such, not torn apart online by strangers looking for attention. Sharon Osbourne is a lot of things. Complicated, outspoken, definitely familiar with controversy. But right now, she's just a mother who spent nearly 40 years with her husband, watched him slip away, and now sees her daughter wrestling with that same loss in public while strangers dissect everything about her. Sharon's not going to be quiet about it, and honestly, she shouldn't. None of us should. If you know someone who's grieving, whether it happened yesterday or months ago, and they still aren't themselves, don't judge their pain by how they look or how long it's lasted. There's no timeline for grief, no checklist for how it's supposed to look. It doesn't tie itself up neatly so someone can bounce back and look polished for photos. Sometimes, just showing up is all a person can handle. And that's enough. So today, send a little extra kindness Kelly Osbourne's way. Send it to every woman quietly piecing herself together after loss, slogging through days that will never be glamorous. You're seen. You're doing enough. And the people who love you, the ones who matter, they see it too.